55, 54, 53.
Thorn, I love your math.
55, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But earlier he went 5, 3, 4, 3, 2.
Well, I mean, it's close. Well, a lot of aluminum and silicon, and then some water being revealed right away for Phreak. The Sagire heading a totally different direction, just finding small amounts of aluminum and iron and carbon.
If I found a cluster of iron on the east side, I would definitely go scientific.
I would go science.
He's going scavenger. Where's the carbon?
Right here. 1, 2.
Wow,
two
two low carbon tiles.
I don't know about that. I feel like he's.
That's a little risky in my opinion.
I think he really wanted to be
there's
scavenger.
carbon here.
Oh,
He
there's
might be
plenty-
real upset as this gets revealed.
Yeah, some triangles, plenty of triangles. Could you turn
Sagire's
those
still
into?
poking
Can
around.
you turn those into wind tile? Wow,
And
there's
here.
a ton of carbon on this map. Sagire could go scavenger too if you want to.
I think that's his best option. There's no
Don't see
triangle
any
of iron.
iron.
There's no iron yet on the map, unless we see something here.
Like, scientific was looking like it maybe had potential, but you really want the three together.
Yep.
So I
Yeah, he
think-
should go. He can go scavenger. I feel like Dorian pushed being scavenger because he really wants to use the black market. At this point, I think he wants to hurt the other player.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way to me too. Sagire is just going to grab up a couple nice carbon tiles.
Yeah, he's
Or at least
even-
better
although-
carbon tiles. Oh, what
I
was
know-
that?
Oh, why?
That was
He
weird.
could have had a triangle.
Why didn't he do the triangle?
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to.
That's where he's. I don't like where he found it though. There is not much space there.
I think there's enough. It's a little
If-
awkward, but he can kind of
if-
make it work.
And if Dorian grabs that carbon that he didn't get, he could box him in. He
Well,
can't get out
yeah.
of that can. I would consider that if I was.
I don't think Dorian right now is, gonna do that. I think he just wants to save enough money to go for.
Dorian
the-
loves doing stuff like that. I can totally see him trying to box him in there.
Well, we have to hand it to Phreak. He got to HQ2 a lot faster this game. Letting the pirates go for 3,000 though, that's probably way too cheap. I mean,
that-
3,000
that-
pirates. Even
Drop it down on the carbon right away.
well, just on this carbon and aluminum, he can just take all this away and just slow Phreak down significantly. I mean, yeah, the resources aren't that valuable, but 3,000? That's a pretty simple swing.
Didn't the Sagire get
But if I was Phreak, I would not go for that
Sagire got
second
the pirate.
Yeah.
aluminum. I would grab for another one of those water tiles, even if I'm not using it for water. That's his big advantage is he has that water nearby home. Try to claim as many of them as possible, whether you use them for water or not.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
suppose.
He's not gonna box him in.
I don't really mind the aluminum much personally. I probably wouldn't have gone for the silicon, especially not that silicon tile. But and maybe taking the water instead, but I don't really mind the aluminum. Already power coming down from the Sagire. That's a bit earlier than I typically do it, but it can work out just fine. And we're gonna see underground nukes getting thrown out right away on aluminum.
Yeah.
That could
Nice.
maybe help indicate why Phreak leaned that direction, as if he had that plan all along.
Yeah, that makes more sense now. And there goes. Oh,
Eee,
dynamite.
I don't know about a dynamite there.
I was like anticipating the underground nuke, but no.
That's only going to cost him, what, about $200 to rebuild? Maybe
Yeah,
less than that.
that's-
Maybe
All right,
100.
I think we really do need the dynamite PSA.
Yeah. Ooh, that's really super weird to me.
Ice condensers? Is he putting them on the silicon?
I think he would have to be for this to be worth it at all. He is going to put
Yeah.
them, one of them on the silicon, the other one not.
Is the other one not ice?
No, I think that silicon tile is an ice tile. It definitely appears that way to me. I could be wrong, but even if it was, then why would you even bother? I can't understand the decision. I would have much rather, I think, placed my water in Phreak's way, taken two of his nice water tiles away, make
Yeah,
it
for
very
sure.
difficult for him to shut the water down without hurting his own production.
You know, this is something that Chump ran into. Dorian actually has as little space to grow as the Sagire. Those tiles to the east of him are not tiles. That's the edge of the map.
Yep.
If he grabbed two of those waters there, Phreak only has maybe 6 or 7 tiles left in this area.
Definitely could have created more of a problem than he did. I can't agree with the ice condensers at all. This is also very strange. They're both players doing very weird things this game.
What are you commenting
You see,
about?
Phreak's tile selection here
Yeah, why didn't he do a triangle?
is very awkward to me.
Yeah, I'm at a loss. I don't know.
Pirates again for 3,000. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's very strange.
I guess he's using one for wind, and then he's predicting he'll use the other one as part of a triangle eventually, but...
Perhaps. Perhaps. It does discourage, in some ways, the Sagire from taking the territory, but on the other hand, he's already indicated no interest in that at all.
Yeah,
wow, the Sagire... I didn't see this because I wasn't expecting those carbon tiles to change for quite some time, but the Sagire is making steel.
Steel? Wow. All right. I guess it...
That has not been up for very long. The first steel mill only got constructed a little while ago.
Is he sitting on a big thing of carbon? He's
Oh,
not.
that is fantastic for the Sagire, though. Both players are going to see that coming, and that might actually encourage Phreak to maybe shut down some of the steel production to stop his income. The fact that iron is getting surplus.
Oh, iron surplus. Yeah, well, that is lucky for him. Yeah, I don't know about this move, especially since he's not seeing the carbon.
The black market is online.
I'm also very concerned about the fact that the Sagire hasn't actually secured any more aluminum for himself. It might work out okay, but the game isn't going to throw him any bones when it comes to aluminum tiles. There are plenty left available.
I think PB had summed it up right well in the chat right now. This game, WTF.
Yeah.
What's going on?
York and PB Head, I think, agree on these. Juzo says everyone hates triangles.
Yeah.
We're just
contemplating the usage of letters together. Like, this is really angry. I must say, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is very crazy.
There is a mutiny on the wind turbine. That's going to be a good $50 a second into the Sagire's pockets, and 50 about a little bit more maybe into Phreak's debt. So that's maybe a little nice to see. Possibly a better target. Would have loved to see it on this aluminum, but take what you can get, I suppose.
Wow. You could have had much better play, much differently. The Sagire could have been at level 4 right now.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think through this steel thing. I mean, obviously he's going to use steel to buy carbon, but you need a lot more carbon than you need steel to upgrade.
Yeah, and you don't make it nearly as quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, these carbon tiles, you'd be getting 3 a second off these
it
instead of
costs
1.5.
less power. I mean, there's just a lot of issues here.
There are. I think that iron surplus might have saved him from himself, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's like we're commentating right now on the fact that this game could have gone much faster and ended much quicker. You know, instead of this, like, what? Okay, I think I know what's going on. Maybe not.
At least we do see claims did start getting purchased. The players decided maybe we don't need to just spend all of our time hitting each other. But the Sagire has gone back to being very offensive with another mutiny. Finally on the aluminum, grabbing up that adjacency bonuses, taking it away from Phreak. I just wonder if it came a bit too late.
12,000 for a carbon. Oh, it's the carbon.
It's right next to his base. He had to take it. It was a bit unfortunate.
And that was that tile that would have bottled him up.
Who's more unpredictable in this game?
Both players are being nuts, so...
for whatever he's done, Phreak is level 4 now.
Another really, really weird thing for Phreak. Maybe there was an auction I don't think there was an auction I missed. I've seen all 3. There were 2 pirates in that carbon tile. Phreak has 2 silicon tiles and decided that adjacency bonuses were for scrubs. He didn't need any of those.
He's using it for solar power, but he could have used the other one for solar power. I mean, it's slightly higher, but... I don't know.
He could have used the other one for solar power. He could have put the solar power if he really wants to go this route and he's just avoiding black market. Why not just take the silicon tile that's right in the middle of your opponent's water production? Make it a pain to get rid of that, you know?
Yeah, maybe a lot of these decisions they're making are based off of fear of the black market at this point.
I think that's a big part of what it is. The Sagire did move back into carbon production, significantly delayed from what it could have been if that iron surplus hadn't come through, but...
Are they just trolling us at this point?
I think that they might be in chat together. How nuts can we be right now? What can we do?
Phreak just power surged the ice condensers, which are producing water, which was $10.
I think that is what's happening at this point. These guys actually just hate us.
It has to be a farce. It has to be a farce.
I mean, why would you do that?
I'm so weird right now.
You could have hit his carbon, 3 carbons, which is at $43, and is a crucial resource to him. I just don't understand.
Chat, if you have any ideas, if you guys have any, like, breakout strategies that are happening right now that we're not seeing, feel free to let us know. But
shutting down those ice condensers, which yeah. I don't know.
oh man,
Yes,
I don't see it.
York has a theory. Cats are currently running across the trackpads controlling this game.
I like it. No, here's what's actually happening. The Sagire decided to commit those particular ice condenser tiles because he knew later on he wanted to make a transition into food. So he's going to grab up nanotech, right? And he's going to have that glass stored away very, very nicely. He can scrap the ice condenser tiles and more easily make his food condenser, or sorry, his food farm transition later in the game. That's my prediction right now for those ice condensers.
I think he built the ice condensers because he knew he would tempt Phreak into wasting his power surge on him.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
The mind games here are impressive.
The mind game.
Oh, man, it's still hard to see what's going to happen with
Maybe
this
he's
game.
not taking that silicon in the middle of the water just so he can blow the other person, away.
What's also fascinating is we got 2 scavengers. Phreak did finally get some reactors, but beyond that, there's no farms. There's hardly been any reactors this whole game.
Well, and Phreak still hasn't figured out adjacency bonuses, apparently, because he has 1 glass furnace and 2 reactors. And they're positioned in a way that so that you can't even move the buildings around very well. I'm really surprised thinking machines went down as low as, or went for as low as 18,000. The way these players have been playing, they're so scared of each other. I honestly expected that to go for 50, maybe 60.
Well, they each only have 3 buildings next to their headquarters.
Yeah.
Like they're doing everything they can to stay away from their headquarters.
Apparently.
You guys,
I mean-
we need to tone down that kind of judgment. We're not going to make it easier for anyone to play the tourney. It's like, take it easy. I know this is very weird.
Well, what I really wanted to see Phreak do, and look at this, he built those reactors south of his base.
Yes.
He should have put them on those water tiles. There's not much
If he had
water
put
on
them
this
on
map.
the water,
Well-
that would have been a better choice. That's what you want to say.
Black market. Just 1 EMP, 1 power surge, rips
Knocks
through
it
all
all
his
out.
buildings.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, but why? There's lots of places he can put his power.
Out
He
of
didn't have to
all
put
the
his power
places
there.
where he could have put his water, he's choosing these places. How about that? Because York and, and
See,
Agile
it all
have
makes
played
sense now. The ice condensers have now been power surged twice.
Maybe it's just fantastic bait. I don't know.
It's just fantastic.
Really
I
that
mean-
far into his opponent's mind that he can see what's going to happen.
I mean, they are a triple. They are making water. It is his only source of water at this point, and it is $44. This one is not really.
Let's tone it down
All
because
right,
we have
all right.
more people who are going to play in the tourney. This is harsh. We're being jerks right
Yeah,
now.
fair
We're
enough.
observing,
Fair enough.
not judging.
I don't know what kind of casts you watch, but
Yeah. Well, this power surge was not that bad actually. To hit the water because now he's gonna have to buy water for his farms and at least he has some farms up.
York apparently disagrees with the fact that ice condensers can be frozen, as that's the state they're naturally supposed to work in. So I don't know if that's a bug report or what, but we may need to work on that in the future.
Interesting theory.
Phreak, thankfully, does have a triangle of water up at this point. That's going to be making him fantastic money.
Yeah.
And that is the advantage of him freezing out his opponent's water, right? He may have been so focused on making a water play happen that he didn't care if it wasn't worth anything at the time. He just wanted to keep driving that price up as much as possible so that he could make as much money as possible off of his own tiles, focusing on his own efficiency rather than maybe hitting his opponent in the place where it would hurt the most.
Dory's in a strong position right now for sure. He has kind of worked his way up. It's just by being able to upgrade mostly, and which comes from having the aluminum. It comes from committing to carbon, not using those tiles for something else. Interesting enough, though, Sagire has a hacker ray, but he doesn't seem to be doing anything with it.
Frozen.
Well, yeah, but even then, it wasn't. He hadn't started anything yet.
Light.
I mean, I like seeing the hacker ray in these type of games, but
That was a bit of an unfortunate EMP, I think. Maybe not fully thinking through the fact that thinking machines was in play,
yeah.
but he hits 4 tiles with it, only 4 tiles, and 3 of them defended by thinking machines. And most of those so far away, they're only going to be frozen for moments before they're back online.
I don't know about the.
Of course.
We need everything.
Phreak's
about
just
the
going for the kill, and he may have it right here. This water
Yeah.
production is going to potentially carry him through the game. He got a
Black
massive
market
amount of
is
money off of
online.
how high water was. He sold it all down. Now he's into reactors on that very, very cheap water he created, and I think he's going to close it out momentarily.
Yeah, I mean, Phreak is level 5. He has production. He's able to make some money, and
There it
Sagor
is.
just never got his feet under him.
Game.
Well,
This is hard to watch for me because the Sagire had a very good starting position.
Yeah, it was weird how he got rid of his carbon quarries. That was
That was the upper
was very
hand.
strange.
that was, I mean,
And
it feels like he out-freaked Phreak, right? Just trying to get a little
Yeah.
too crazy that day.
yeah.
that was a little too crazy. I understand before when you had no source of carbon, that was I thought a brilliant move, but but yeah, I mean, you're scavenger. You need your carbon,
I have to say, I think after seeing the series of plays Phreak made, his play makes a lot more sense to me throughout the course of the game. I think that his building positioning maybe could have been a bit better. He opened himself up to black market in very strange ways at times, but at least he had a cohesive strategy. The Sagire felt like he was just going nuts everywhere and didn't really know what to do to kind of make the game, find an edge, find an advantage somewhere in the game.
All right, should we call in Dorian to the call here?
Well,
I mean,
apparently,
it's-
the Sagire pops in a chat and says, I had no idea what to do with this
Doing
on this
this
one.
Yeah, the
So-
map was good.
Yeah, this one was bizarre. Although it didn't seem that strange of a game. He found it. He had the carbon. Like, I don't know. There was some water for him. There was a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I don't know. It was an interesting little match.
Hey, what's up, Layla?
Hey,
Wait.
that last game was one of the strangest I think we've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Spent half of our time just trying to figure out why you guys are making the decisions you made.
Yeah,
The-
I was.
the map's
I mean, it seemed like water was. I mean, water was the thing in that one, and he left my water. I thought he was going to claim some water around me, and so I was.
Excuse me.
So I was trying to make the water claims less than ideal. So
Yeah.
if he snagged them, it would be awkward, and he just never took them. And then
Yeah, I really wanted you to grab all of the iron that was all of the water that was around your headquarters, but you didn't do that for some reason.
yeah.
And he had 3 low waters near his head. We were just totally confused by the ice condensers. It was.
Oh
really
yeah.
And then we were also then confused. as you power surge them when there were only 2 of them and water was $10. I mean, we could see that water was going to be important, but at
Oh yeah.
at that exact moment, it was confusing.
What I saw was he wasn't making water, and he started to put glass down.
Sure.
I was making oxygen, and so I said I'm going to make it so that his glass is a complete waste of a build.
Yeah.
So I started buying all the oxygen, selling everything, and then I wanted to void him of water. So even if he switched to hydrolysis or electrolysis or whatever, he wouldn't be able to make any money off of it.
Sure.
So it was like that was like a long pass.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. I came up with something like that, I think 10 minutes after you started doing it. I was like, okay, maybe he's actually been planning this literally the whole time since he power surged that $10 water, but it was still a bit weird in the moment.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, like one of the dilemmas with the black market with the scavengers is how easily you can shut down one resource.
Mm-hmm.
And like he did with water what I did in the last game with iron. And I was like, okay, well, this is exactly like iron wasn't very important when he shut it down. But once he locked me out of iron, I was done. And I was like, I can do that with water and try to take advantage of the water market. So, and then I wanted to, like, when he started bidding, I said, I think I had like 50,000. And I wanted to see how far he'd bid if he would get his stock low enough for me to grab it really early, which he did.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. It made it work. It was interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, your claims are kind of all over the place. We're also surprised you seem to be specifically avoiding the triangles. Although maybe that was a residue from last game when we saw what good your triangle did for you.
It may have just been that I was tilted out a little bit, honestly.
Yeah, those games don't feel good.
No.
Yeah, we were guessing like most of your plays were based around fear of the black market, basically.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing, like being able to get black market stuff at the same pace is a huge difference. Like I honestly think it's hard to It's interesting. I'm curious, like how competitive people are if they're not scavengers, if they play with a scavenger head to head.
Yeah.
Because the black market is such a strong. It's so potent, especially early on.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to let your opponent get all the 4000s.
Yeah.
We also saw some not great dynamite play that game, or frankly in all the games. Although I don't remember if you were the one doing it or if it was him.
Okay.
Well, I think for when Phreak was using dynamite, I think most of the time someone was being caught by goons.
You were trying to clear goon squads, is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think,
Okay.
yeah, and the Sagire was definitely trying to clear goon squads at some point, and Phreak caught some of them. So I think the dynamite play started to make a bit more sense when you realized they weren't actually expecting them to hit every single time, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Or ever.
Yeah, exactly.
I should remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one boneheaded like there was one thing I did where I knew he had a goon squad on something. I don't know which game it was, and it was like I came to it, I pressed the button, I'm like, that's the one I shouldn't be doing, and it was like, that's the goon squad. Yep. That's exactly.
We just gotta wait.
I don't want it. Do you want it?
Are you gonna stream?
No, I'm not gonna stream.
Okay, so
Zolper
just
is streaming already.
Yeah.
All right, so next we have York and Aja are gonna play their game. Good game, Dorian.
I'm just glad I survived
Well,
for another round.
those were definitely entertaining games. That is for sure. It's one of the most entertaining series I think we've seen.
Yeah, it's very high. It was some hot and cold playing, but it was a dramatic game. So